talking, I don't sweat that. If they don't trust me either, I respect that. But she need down the ride, oh, I bet that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that. Don't forget that. Don't forget that. Ooh, I slide for my people, don't forget that.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is JH. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Is everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. I've been chatting with a couple of my partners. It's partners. And they were talking about shop stewards and union officials that have been trying to silence them whenever they bring up anything having to do with the union contract. This is from all contracts, not just one specific contract. And they've been just complaining about how people are, bitching about, oh, we don't have a contract yet. And, oh, you guys just wait, just be patient. Now, here's the thing. As a union shop steward, as a vice president, a president, or whatever they consider themselves as, I've always said, if you are not transparent with your people and you have information, that means you're withholding information from the people that you're supposed to be representing. And it tends to get people frustrated. So I compiled a list of 5 things that shows you a bad shop steward. And if you have a bad shop steward, we're going to have a couple of remedies to get rid of those shop stewards. Now, here's the thing. Shop steward can't tell you what to do. They can't tell you what to do. Their job is simply to enforce the rules of the contract. Whatever was negotiated in the contract and it's on a piece of paper, they're simply there to enforce those rules. Not for favoritism, not for all that other foolery. But let's get into it. Now, number 1, favoritism and nepotism. A shop steward who consistently shows favoritism towards certain employees, especially if they are friends or family, while neglecting others. This behavior can create a toxic work environment and undermine the union's credibility. People say, oh man, screw the union, I'm getting out the union. And union people say, don't talk like that. You a problem, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's you, okay? If the union was doing everything they were supposed to do, now, this is not all shop stewards. Let me clarify that. We have some great shop stewards. And if people don't say you're a great shop steward, that's your fault. You can't blame the people. It's your fault. Your fault. You get in there and you get some power and you don't do what you're supposed to do. That's your fault. That ain't the people you're representing. That's your fault. It is what it is. You can't be mad because I've said there's thousands of great shop stewards. If you're not categorized as one of them, that's on you. All right. Number 2, neglecting grievances. And if any of you guys had this situation, please drop your comment there. I want to hear your stories. And for those that say, oh, it's non-existent, read the stories. Read the stories. These are people all over the country. I don't write all these stories. Neglecting grievances. A steward who ignores or dismisses legitimate grievances from union members, especially if those members are not in their inner circle. This can be seen as being in bed with management because it suggests the steward is not truly representing the interests of the workers. Number 3, here we go, backroom deals. A shop steward who makes secret deals with management, such as trading grievances or promising to overlook certain issues in exchange for personal benefits. This is a clear example of being self-serving and undermines the trust of the union members. I remember there was a union shop steward that I think he was the vice president, and he did this. There was a bunch of people that were trying to get converted or they were supposed to be converted. He told management, listen, he got written up for something. I told this story a couple years ago. He got written up for something and it was just a letter of warning. He said, look, if you guys get this letter of warning out of my own file, you throw this away. I will not file a grievance for the year back pay when these people were supposed to be converted a year ago. This is what this man did. Now, it's not if it happened. This is what happened. And this is what's representing people. Self-serving. Lack of transparency. This is what everybody's going through right now in the NALC. A steward who does not communicate openly with union members about important decisions or negotiations. This can lead to suspicion and the perception that the steward is hiding something or working against the members' interests. Number 5, ignoring union policies. A shop steward who disregards union policies and procedures, perhaps to benefit themselves or a select few. This can include failing to follow proper grievance procedures or not advocating for fair labor practices. You ever see one of those that tend to get off all the time? They're able to have vacations, they never work during the holidays, or every holiday they have off, or they tend to just skip the line even though they've been there for 7 years, you've been there for 12 years, and you wonder how they get these days off. Oh, they put the form in before you. No, this dude wasn't even here last time. I put it in the day he was off. Oh no, he put it in the day before. This happens all the time nationwide, and it gets people pissed. It's these practices that people practice because they have a little bit of power and they abuse that power. This is where the whole concept of changing the culture, change that culture. It's sickening. One of the remedies to that is to just simply vote them out. Many unions have a process in place for electing and re-electing shop stewards. If a steward is not performing adequately or is acting against the interests of members, a vote of no confidence can be held and a new steward can be elected. See, y'all can't silence me. I'm gonna tell it what it is. These are facts. A lot of people don't know that. You got 50 people at a station and only 7 people that specific union shop steward keeps in a circle. It's time for you all to get off your butt and say, you know what? Nah, dog, you got to go. You got to go. You got to be gone. All right? You and your little cronies over there, y'all always getting out of trouble. 2 clicks late or 2 clicks early and they want to have me in the office and you going to talk about, well, you're going to have to accept that 7-day. Wait, my guy or my gal or my other, you got to be clear with that. My other, all of a sudden, didn't you just have a full, 2 weeks off because you sprained your toenail? And I clicked 2 clicks late and now I gotta sit in the office? You lost your damn mind. People run through this all the time. And then they said, oh, this was the best one. You better not be posting no videos talking negatively about the union. Since when does a union shop steward supersede the Constitution with freedom of speech? Please write that in the below. Please. Because there is no union nowhere in this country that can tell me that I can't sit in my house and talk freely. I don't speak on behalf of the post office. I speak on behalf of Jay and what people talk to me about and my personal experiences and everybody else's personal experience. You can't silence me. That's like me telling you, hey, when you go home, make sure you don't, you shower at 7 p.m. Who the hell am I to tell you that? Exactly. It sounds stupid, don't it? You can't tell me not to do it. And I hear a lot of y'all sitting there trying to tell a lot of the creators that are out here doing it, whether I like them or I don't like them, you can't tell them that they can't record. Now, there are some rules with that. You can't be on the clock recording, obviously. We learned that the hard way. I had to sit for, man, I almost lost my job for y'all. But there's, use your common sense. But when they're out here sharing information, you can't tell them, oh, you can't talk about me. Ain't no such thing as a feeling police. I say that in regards to management as well as my shop stewards as well. Now, again, here's the thing. I had somebody, don't listen to this sucker. That's funny. Shut up. I said it, shut up. You can't do nothing about it. This is the beauty of living here in the United States of America. That's M-U-R-I-C-A, America. We have that blessing of a freedom of speech. Okay? You can't tell me what to say or how to feel. You can't tell people in the comment section that say, Jay, you suck. I can't tell them how to feel. Does it bother me? Sometimes. If I'm wrong, I admit I'm wrong. But I can't tell somebody how to feel. I can't tell anybody what to say. Now, YouTube got this weird algorithm that'll pull people's feelings off of there, but you cannot control your fellow coworker. You cannot control an adult. You want somebody to control, get a pet or have a kid. Then you can control them until they hit a certain age. But you cannot control what people say. You can't tell me that I have to like my shop steward, or I can't speak negatively about my shop steward. Why? I'm not gaslighting, I'm giving my opinion. I'm giving what happened to me. Now, my personal shop steward, mine, I didn't get along with him for a while. I got along with him great outside of work. At work, we had a lot of words. I respect the hell out of him now. Now we get along just perfectly fine. I understand things a little bit differently than I did a few years ago. And maybe things have changed on their end, but it's just the process of growing. I don't hate anybody. I mean, I used to I curse him out and then call him up. You all right, man? When he gets sick or something like that. I don't take things like this to heart. I don't take things like this to home. But a lot of people will live with, I hate this guy, I hate this guy. Okay, well, that's your own personal feelings or opinion. But at the end of the day, here it is. You can't tell people what to feel or how to feel. Secondly, unions, if you feel like, or union shop stewards, if you feel like there's too many people that are crybabies and they're off whining and they actually know what the contract says and you're just not doing a good job on your end, maybe it's time for you to move aside and allow somebody that's actually going to be a real shop steward, that's going to follow the rules that are written down in the contract and fight for what's right. And if you're wrong, they'll say, hey, look, man, I understand you went over 2 clicks last week, but you've done this every single week for the last 3 years. So this is why they brought you in. There are situations like that. So damned if you do, damned if you don't, but don't be a self-serving shop steward, union vice president, or union president. Don't be one of those presidents or union vice presidents that they are still working in their craft and go sit in the office for 8-hour shifts and maybe work a full 4 hours on the floor or in the vehicle per week, because people will not respect you. They won't respect you. They'll feel like, oh, well, you ain't got that many grievances. You're not winning a ton of grievances. So what is it that you're doing in the office 7 hours a day? Seriously. So there's so many pros, there's so many cons. Thank us for having unions, because at the end of the day, they say, if you don't have a union, just thankful that you got the wages. Great, wages are great. But what about the work environment we got to live in? I can't say, okay, well, I'm making $80 an hour, but every day I come in, I got a tyrant for a manager, and you just letting a tyrant manager just abuse me. And you know that they're wrong, but you don't say a thing. And I've shown you the document saying, hey, they're wrong. And you're like, oh, well, all right, well, No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm supposed to be able to come to work in an environment that's safe and free of badgering, free of abuse, mental, physical, whatever it is. And if something occurs, I'm supposed to be able to go to you and say, hey, file this grievance. And you're supposed to be able to take it and say, look, even if you know it's wrong, Mr. Shop Steward or Mrs. Shop Steward or other shop steward, if you know it's wrong, say, look, I'm gonna look into it, see if there's anything that we can do, and get back to them. And then if you can't do anything, give them the language where you can't do it. Say, okay, well, this is what it says in section blah, blah, blah. Don't dismiss your workers. Don't dismiss the people you put in to represent. You can't just dismiss them. They put you up there, or you ran for it. You can't just say, well, I'm busy. Busy doing what? You can't dismiss people and think that they're supposed to be okay with you. For all the people, for all the great shop stewards that are out there, I applaud you, I thank you, and continue being the pit bulls and the honest shop stewards, vice presidents, and presidents that you are. There was that one video that I showed a couple, I guess last week, where there was one union president that was out there fighting, and they were picketing or whatever it is, and they were talking with the NALC, and they were talking to the media. And I'm sitting here making a video saying, hey, you guys get out there and do it. Y'all come together and you do it. And then in the comment section, it turns around and they say, well, yeah, my shop steward or my union president says, no, he's not going out there, or no, we can't do this, or no, he's not in agreement with it. Well, he's not in agreement with you guys basically asking for transparency. Well, then there's clearly a problem there. There's clearly a problem if he's saying he will not support you When you're simply looking for transparency when it comes down to your union contract, then there is an issue right there. Well, why not? Why can't you come out with it? I don't get it. You saying that we should be waiting and just I don't get it. They're saying that this is a day that we supposed to be all coming out together, and you're telling us that we can't write no signs, we can't wear no logo of NALC. Why? I don't get it. Please tell me why. Tell me why. Now, I got to give it to the APWU. There are a lot of things that I don't like about what they do. And there's a lot of things that are starting to come to fruition with what they do. And, you know, so far, the president, he is on a level playing field. Level. He ain't up here yet, but he's on a level playing field. And I respect that. At least he's giving details, small details. And I'm hearing him behind the scenes, you know, about what he's looking for and what he's not looking for. But I don't like to throw too much gossip out there because then people are expecting more. So as long as I'm getting a little bit of transparency, I'm okay, because we're not going into 18 months, 2 years without a contract. It's only been barely, 3 weeks. With all that being said, I babbled enough, and I hope I offended a bunch of soft-ass shop stewards. That was my intention. I hope I purposely offended them, because there's a handful of you. But there are more workers out there that are seeking good union representation. There are a ton of workers out there that need good worker representation. And if you're offended by this, go call the feelings police. I don't care. But who does care is all the people that you represent or lack thereof. So that, again, you can't do anything about it. What you can do is maybe change the culture. Either you switch up and start adapting and realize it's not about you, it's about the whole unity of the union, or get out. Get out. Let somebody step in that wants to represent. This is JH. I'll keep going with it because it's sickening. And I'm out.
Unexpected expenses stressing you out? Get the money you need now with Loans for Feds, a program designed specifically for federal employees. Bad credit is not a problem. Application is fast and easy with same-day approvals. Apply now.